back together again.
They left me on the island with Gabler again. I'll never recover.
Well,
Not
we
too much.
Again.
Not too much on my Gabler.
We told you. We sent the boat. You just refused to get on it, Jack. I'm sorry. That's on you.
Gabler took the boat. What was I supposed to do? Get on it with him?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Anyway. Well, I love this whole thing. I love it. Welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, a say something gay. Gay and something looks a little bit different today, doesn't it?
You got a new hat.
This is a hat I've owned for a while. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But no, what?
Is that a new shirt?
No, I've had this for 9 years.
All right.
No, I'm house sitting for friends, and they told me I could have full reign of their beer closet. So, if I can do this.
Okay, Bud Light.
It was the best of the options
Okay,
available.
supporting queers.
Always supporting the queers.
Is that a Bud Light Lime-A-Rita or whatever?
It's just Bud Light Lime.
I love Bud Light Limes. Like, if I could drink a beer forever, yes. They're so
It's absolutely Bud Light Lime.
and it's like a light beer, you know, it's not like too much.
When I come to New York, 12 pack.
They don't have them much. They don't have them much at the bars. And when I go to bars, I have to get a Corona.
Oh no! I'm just saying that's the pregame, honey.
Oh, period. I mean, I can't drink that much. I'll probably drink 1 or 2 beer, and I'm good. I don't even need to drink that much. But anyway.
But anyway, hello. Speaking of drinks, no, I don't know. I'm not speaking of drinks at all. I'm Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea per. So if you have some, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm for the second night in a row, I am actually drinking tea out of my mug cup per. Because, you know, Janet snatched my soul, y'all, and I ain't got to get it back somehow. She just won't let me go. I can't rest. But, yeah. And, you know, you can always get your lovely cup mug at lanagscreations.etsy.com because you know you want one. You know you want one. So, there we go.
Oh, God, I'm burping. It was the wrong timing. But hello, everyone. It's me, Robyn. I'm back after a little hiatus because I've been a little busy, and I'm still busy. I'll be heading out for a little while, but you know, I'm glad to be back. You know, I've been seeing some stuff on the show that pissed me the hell off. This episode did the same.
We will let you speak on it.
But you know what? At least we got what was this final 9?
We're at final 8 now after this episode.
Yeah.
So it was a final 9 vote. So at least we got a final 9 vote in the new era because we haven't had one. And
oh my God, you're so correct.
And then at least you know we got that. It was a boring elimination, but still, you know.
And finally, hello, my name is Jack. I am a Twitch streamer when I don't have college, a game designer when I don't have college, coffee addict when I have college, and college student.
What?
When I have college.
I didn't know you were in college. I had no idea.
Pretends to be shocked.
I have been hit by finals and every other type of project prep you could imagine. I also have a job now. So, yeah. Well, you know, it'll hopefully be during the day, so I'll be able to pop in more. But thankfully, I'm here now to discuss, besides I'm going to go with interesting potential targets spouted out by certain players after a record of interesting targets. Besides that, surprise, surprise, when they let Survivor players tell their stories and play the game of Survivor without throwing in some Mario Party ass bullshit, it's a good episode.
Interesting. Well, yeah, let's just jump right into it because we got a lot going on, but not really a lot going on.
I was gonna say it's one of those episodes where it's a lot and yet nothing happens. But this might have been one of my favorite episodes of the season. I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they had a day off, which I didn't know they had that scheduled in the schedule, which I was thrilled about for them.
I love that.
But yeah, we come back. Brandon had just been blindsided with the idol play on the Franny in the last episode.
Oh, Lord.
Robyn, I can tell you have thoughts. So
I don't know. Like in terms of Danny's game specifically for that move, I don't, and I'm not like the hugest Danny fan. I wouldn't want to see him win, but like, we're thinking player wise, we're thinking about what's good for their game, Yeah. And for me, it was letting Franny go because she won how many immunity challenges, and she has her boyfriend basically in jury, there to let everyone know and welcome them like, hey, Franny's still there, Franny's doing this, which is a huge threat. So get her out. That's somebody who will potentially vote for you. And Brandon's still there as a shield for you because they're going to look at you all as like, oh, the big boys or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it just pissed me off that he did that shit. And I'm like, it seemed very pointed based on his track record of like targeting certain people, which I tweeted about and I had to mute because the girls were dragging me, but I didn't give a fuck. I said what I said.
We said it on here last week.
I said I look, I was like,
and of course, like nobody's saying Danny's like racist or anything. As we always talk about it, it's biases. It's unconscious biases. It may not look like to Danny, it might just be like, oh, I'm just voting someone out. But to us looking at it, it's just a very weird trajectory of who he has been targeting,
I said what I said 2 weeks ago, and I said I wasn't going to say it, but I was going to think it. And then last week, I was like,
right.
I'm not going to not think it anymore. I'm just going to go out and say it.
Right.
His biases is showing, and his biases was very, very clear. And I don't care what nobody say. You're not going to change my mind on the fact that I believe his biases was very much. Now, was it game related? Sure. He could justify every move he made for targeting these people for game purposes. Sure. Not taking that away from him. It was very much the reason he targeted Claire, because Claire didn't play no games. Okay. The reason he targeted Lauren, because Lauren has an extra vote. Okay. The reason he targeted Brandon is because Brandon is a big player and they wanted him off so he wouldn't win his way through the game. And Josh, because Josh was cool with everybody. Josh felt like he had both
apparently
sides.
Cool with everyone, but
everybody wanted to get him out. But okay.
It's an extra minority. I don't know.
So I'm like, okay, sure, your moves were game. You can justify everything why you target these people for game purposes, but still, why are you targeting these people all the time? Like, you have never targeted Matt. You didn't say Matt's name. You didn't say nobody else. Nobody else's name on it. Like, nobody else. Even when y'all merged, it was Lauren. It was.
Yeah.
And I
just want to say, right. And I just want to say the editors do not give Danny like a good edit in that aspect because first of all, we see Danny say all this plus the people that he's talking to about voting out these people because he's like Carson, like Kane, and then he's going to Franny. I'm like, well, that's weird. That's
suspicious.
Like, you only talking to the white people about voting out the.
And that's like on the editing aspect of it, right? Because it's making him look a certain type of way in my eyes, specifically.
Mine too.
I didn't even notice that last part, but yeah.
It could just be the edit,
Blame it on the edit.
Blame
it on the edit. Okay.
Lana, no. Okay, that's.
Well, we've turned Lana into a Drag Race fan, Robyn. You've missed it.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were watching a little bit of 15. Yeah.
And España.
Oh wow. Okay.
I did it. I finally got Lana to do it.
I'm not even into the international besides maybe Canada.
Watch España.
Maybe UK.
Watch España.
I know the girls are good. I'm so overwhelmed with so many franchises of Drag Race. I'm just like, oh god, I can't keep up with all the queens.
Go check out all of our Drag Race coverage available on this channel.
There is one other important aspect to mention, though, and it was even brought up in the episode. Why did nobody split?
Okay, I have to head out. I know I'm cutting this really short.
Yeah,
but I'll be right back.
You're good, love. Good.
In the episode, they even mentioned, why didn't we split? And this is just like, this is classic Survivor of like, okay, you know what? For our safety, we know that it is likely to be unanimous. Let's throw a vote on a secondary target to just make sure that if something happens to the primary one, we still have a second shot. Yeah, especially because Danny's idol had become public knowledge at that point.
Yeah.
At least to some degree, people knew about it. Yeah. So why did nobody think to throw the extra vote? I don't like throw an extra vote on someone. I don't remember if there was a reason that was stated and I'm just forgetting it, but it doesn't make sense to me why someone wouldn't have spoken up and been like, you know what? Let's provide a second option.
I don't think anyone anticipated Danny playing the idol, honestly. Like I for me, like if I don't anticipate anyone playing an idol necessarily, let alone playing an idol for somebody else. So
yeah,
it's like one of those things where it's like I genuinely, when Danny played the idol for Franny, I was shocked.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question that we will never have answered.
Unless we like go through all the interviews and stuff and be like, oh, this is what they just didn't show.
I don't get paid for that.
Yeah.
If I got paid for that, I would.
Maybe.
But I don't get paid for that. So we go to the next morning. It's day, 17 in the game?
I want to say you're right because they said it's been like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 17. It was indeed. No, it's day 16.
Shit.
Day 16. Well, the day off was day 16.
Yeah.
So it's day 16. We start the morning because obviously an idol was just played. So guess what?
Idol hunt.
A real idol is in play. And we get crossfade. Everybody's looking. And Heidi finds the idol.
They also play a really, really cruel trick on Jamie where she talks about how much she feels supported to have her idol. And then halfway through, it fades in. one fake idol. I love it. It's so horrible. And I think this is why I enjoyed the episode a bit more. They were willing to make editing jokes. Like, this isn't even the only editing joke that comes up in the episode.
Yeah.
So, once again,
the editors are having fun this season.
they truly are.
Yeah, I'm very excited about all of the editing things and whatnot. And then it's just they literally get a day off, and I was thrilled to see it, especially because this sort of the day off that we see in the edit is kind of really focused a lot around Carolyn. We love to see it.
So good.
But so this is the first time openly on the show where Carolyn is talking about her struggles with addiction to the other castaways. And so we kind of get like Carolyn's whole backstory. Again, I mean, we've gotten most of it throughout the season, but now the castaways are getting that too. And she's kind of perfectly falling into like this perfect position. I was afraid that when we were seeing all of this, it meant that Carolyn was going home.
I saw it as her winner edit, honestly. I was like,
I also see it as her winner edit.
I was like, this is Carolyn in her winning era right now. And
truly,
I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that. So
no problems here.
I enjoyed hearing Carolyn's story. I love that everybody was receptive to hearing her story. Nobody was like, because when people talk to Carolyn, which I've noticed with this tribe, a lot of them sit there and they roll their eyes and they look at each other like, and that bothers me. It annoys me. But I'm glad that they listened to this story and realized the seriousness and the vulnerability that she was giving them in telling them about her past. She's like, look, I'm an open book. This is what I am. This is what it is. And I love that. And everybody was very receptive to her. And it was just a nice moment. It was just a good moment. And I was like, I see you, Miss Carolyn. I'm here for it. I swear, I think when she busts out that idol at the tribal, when she say, I had this idol the whole time and I ain't even need to play it because all of y'all underestimated me.
Is it going to be that good? Is it going to be a Marianne level idol drop? Because I hope so.
I hope so. I hope she never have to use it.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Because the last time you can play it is what, Final 5?
5.
So we're getting closer.
Getting close.
To that. But yeah, so it's all pretty Carolyn focused, which I'm excited. I was excited to see. We jump over to day 17, and food is dire, but don't worry because it's the stupid negotiating for rice bullshit again. Because we have to watch grown adult humans on national television beg for food. I hate this part. I've always hated this. I hate any time that food is like brought up in this way on Survivor. I just think it's stupid. It brought one of the most iconic moments ever with Angelina Keeley, but otherwise, like, it's just been...
I mean, but was this really a negotiation? No, it really wasn't. There was no negotiation.
It almost didn't happen.
It was none. It was like Jeff said, this is the number I want, and everything else is non-negotiable. Either we do this or we don't. That's not negotiation. Negotiation is, hey, Jeff, what about 4?
Well, and that's what it was on like 41, 42.
Right.
And then last season, he was like 4 people, non-negotiable. And I'm like, Jeff, okay. Like, I understand that you're very excited to still be hosting Survivor, but you don't need to be going on a power trip like this.
It was weird. Like, you went from it being a negotiation to it being 4 of you are going to sit out so you can get food. Good luck.
Right.
That's not a negotiation.
That's not a
That
negotiation.
is a
dictatorship.
mild twist.
That's a twist. It's like if 4 of y'all don't, then nobody gets rice, and that's
It's
just
not
what
a
it
good
is.
twist.
No, that's not a good twist at all.
Not a good twist.
I don't
No,
like it.
it's because I really enjoyed like some of the negotiations we've seen before. I brought up Angelina, and then the ones from 41 and 42 were really like playful and like fun, and these just seem like sacrifice your immunity. It's like, God, okay, Jesus. It's like that one girl on TikTok where she like recreates Saw things, and she's like, really, do I have to? Like, neither of y'all know what I'm talking about, do you?
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Wow, Lana. Anyway.
Sorry.
So we get Carson, Lauren, Kane, and eventually Heidi decide to sit out of the challenge. It almost didn't happen because Jamie was on the fence about whether she wanted to compete. Heidi ends up volunteering. She just got an idol. Of course she does.
Of course you
like she's safe regardless. And I just love that the first two people to drop out of the challenge are Carolyn and Jamie. I'm like, Miss Jamie.
You could have just went out.
You could have just sat out. Like, I love you, my dear, but you could have just sat out.
It's crazy. It was funny to me watching like Heidi was like, no, Franny trying to convince Jamie to go on and sit down. She was like, I mean, you should do it. You should, yeah, come on. And then everybody was like, if you hesitate like that, you shouldn't do it. Kate was like, if you hesitate, you shouldn't do it. And Jamie was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's too much. And I was just like, if I would look at Franny like, girl, why are you trying to convince me so hard not to do it? Even though I was all it anyway. I would have took the approach like Kane and like Carson, like, look, this challenge at me is a no-go. So I'm fighting smarter, not harder. I'm gonna sit this one out because there's no chance I'm winning this one.
This is not a challenge. I don't think I would win this challenge, but I don't think I would do bad at this challenge.
I would not even last the 5 minutes that they were talking about. They lasted. Yeah. No, absolutely not. My bad.
With the slickness of the rain, this challenge is already hard enough.
Right. That rain was ridiculous.
No,
like,
no. I'm out. Goodbye.
I'll be like, I'll sacrifice. And if y'all vote me out, then it is what it is. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I can hold this for a while.
In the rain, in the cold rain, when you are hungry.
One foot on top of the other.
Yep.
With one foot on top of the other. Yeah, that part as well. I mean, I honestly think they made this challenge tougher to just try and get them out of the rain as soon as possible. Like, they did not need 100%. To start with only 1 foot on the block. That would be something that they implement like 30 minutes or an hour into the challenge when they're like, this is going on too long. I think they truly were like, okay, we don't really want you out here right now, so we're gonna hold this immunity challenge because we have to. We're gonna make it very difficult, and then say half of you can sit out.
Literally.
So, I mean, in a worst case scenario, I mean, it could be a lot worse. Basically, I mean, are we surprised it comes down? I mean,
Franny and Danny.
And everyone, the edit plays it up to where, Danny's going to win. It's pretty obvious. I mean,
because Franny's struggling, and Danny falls.
Franny wins.
And Franny wins. I'm like,
and Danny once again has his little pouty moment,
like a baby.
He's so salty. Ugh.
I was like,
wow.
This is my thing. I'm like, we're seeing this, watching. Are y'all not seeing this while y'all sitting right there? Because this is the second time in a row this man has lost an endurance challenge to a woman, by the way. And stumping off salty and mad. Like,
Oh no, let me get the world's smallest little violin here.
Here it is, exactly. There it goes. There it goes. There it
Oh,
goes.
oh, can you
Whole
hear it?
thing. Because
Anyway,
like seriously, dude. And my thing is this, ladies, are we seeing how this man is acting? Are we seeing how this man is acting? And it's 6 of y'all and 3 of them. Hello. We don't need these men here. I'm just saying. Brandy, you have beaten that man. You've beaten Brandon. Lawrence has beaten this man. We don't need him. Like, we don't need these men. These
you
big
could get
men,
rid of
they ain't.
them.
Send them on their way. But okay, what else?
So,
But yeah, so Franny wins, of course, and it's great. Everybody's happy for Franny except Danny. They get back to camp and everybody's like, "Oh, congratulations, Franny! It's great." And now it's time to
Okay, let's go. Like everyone's like,
right. Everyone just go scatter away and do what we got to do. It really
so there's like what? There ends up being like 5 different plans. So okay, Jam wants to target Kane.
Because Kane put his name down, and anybody puts his name down is dead to me. So
the next one's Heidi. You gonna worry about Heidi? Okay, great. So we have that, but then the majority, which is the Ratu Tika majority, or no, Soka Tika majority.
So yeah, it at the very start, even when it's discussing the initial negotiations, it's like we have 3 Soka, 3 Ratu, 3 Tika, and that's it. So no one feels comfortable giving up their spot, and everyone feels like the game can turn in an instant.
I mean,
so that's set dressing.
I mean, that was the argument that they were talking about even for negotiating for the rights. Was like nobody wants to give up their spot and da da da. I promise you this. I don't know about nobody else, but if I was gonna do all that and sacrifice, and the people who didn't want to say, you don't get no rights. You won't get no rights. Especially Mr. Danny, who was like, nobody need to do it. We don't need it. Okay, then since you don't need it, how about you don't need it? How about that?
Didn't they also call that out where it was like, what? Why are you grandstanding like this? Like we don't need that.
I don't know. So what? So we end up seeing we have the Tika 3 going to Ratu, and they're proposing splitting votes between Danny and Heidi and using Lauren's extra vote, with the knowledge that the Soka 3 are trying to target Jamie.
Right.
So, they are. Meanwhile, the Ratu trio, unbeknownst to any plans happening, they decide they're going to pass their advantages around because of a knowledge is power.
Possibly.
Okay. Yeah. Thankful that didn't happen. So, but then Franny is trying to blindside Jam and Carolyn. And there's so many plans that like start and then die. Like Franny wants to target, or Franny wants to blindside Jam and Carolyn, but like by doing what? It's not. None of that is explained.
Well, she wants Soka and Ratu to work together for once and just take out Tika, one of them, because it's like they're floating back and forth, which they are. And Franny actually had a great plan, but of course, the man decided That's silly. You're being the silly woman you are. Stop it. Just stop it with that.
Not the silly woman.
That's literally what that man was like. That's a silly woman plan you're coming up with.
Truly.
Let's not do that, because my manly plan is the most important plan, and it's the right plan, because nobody would ever think your silly woman plan is going to work. Why would we work with Ratu? We don't trust them.
Not the silly woman.
Because that's what that man he aggravates my whole entire soul. Like, the way he literally was just like, what? That's stupid. That's dumb. We're not doing that plan. That's a silly plan. Like, why would we trust Ratu? Because Tika is playing both sides, and if we keep letting them play both sides and they keep swinging back and forth, guess who's going to be out and who's going to be sitting in the final three? Not us. But okay, man, you got this. You know what you're talking about. Go ahead. Let's do your man's plans.
Speaking of silly women and plans, and I mean that in the most loving, wonderful way, Carolyn, she also is over Danny's bullshit and just wants to vote Danny.
Carolyn is on a mission. She got rid of Josh because he was included into this man plan. Then they got rid of Brandon because he was sitting there in front of this man plan happening and not involving her in the plan. Now it's time for Danny to pay the piper, and Carolyn is ready to take that last man and snip him on off this island. But everybody don't want to listen to Carolyn because Carolyn's kooky and Carolyn's wacky and Carolyn's a woman. So we're not listening to her crazy, silly woman plans. Why would we do that? That makes no sense. Why would we not send Danny out the door after he done made this huge move last tribal? Why wouldn't we send Danny out the door? Because that's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get the Lana rant thing just down there? Just like on speed dial for the remainder of this episode.
I mean,
Sure.
Just and they're all very well deserved rants. Let me just state that very clearly. All of the rants are correct. Keep it on speed dial.
Oh, it always is.
I'll probably rant more, but it's okay. I'm good now.
So let's go to tribal.
Oh, please.
Yay.
Is this the most boring tribal that we've had this season?
I mean, even with the live tribal elements.
So the live tribal happens. And I'm just like, oh, a live tribal. Ooh. And it's literally everyone getting up and saying, stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Are you sticking to the plan?
What are we going to do?
The plan? The thing we talked about? That one? Yeah, that one.
That one. Yeah.
I'm just going to go Danny. That's what I'm doing.
They're back.
I'm back.
Just in time for tribal.
Ooh, now we on tribal already. Y'all said we gonna get Jack out of here.
We said Robyn's gone. Great, we can go faster.
You know what? I do talk a lot. It's true.
We all do. That's why we're here. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't talk a lot.
And the weed makes me talk a lot. I'm so
sorry. No, trust. This little bit of beer I've had, I'm like, ooh, hi, speaking. No, so we're at the live tribal where nothing happens in the live tribal. They just all get up and confirm the plans that were already planning on doing.
Child, not they try to insert some audios too to make it seem like Danny was going.
Right.
Like, hello.
Gag.
Now, where was that audio from? Not that night.
I would love to know.
Right. Like, this is the most ridiculous live tribal I've ever seen in my life. Like, this was so.
And you know what? It was actually intriguing because I was like, oh, we are finally getting a nice live tribal. They're going to spice it up. And then.
Spice up nothing.
It's the first.
Spice up nothing. You know what they spice? They put a little salt in it. They put a pinch of salt in there. It wasn't no spice at all. Like,
Lana, they put a single flake of black pepper in there. A
No,
single
not even
flake.
that much.
They put a scoop of mayonnaise in there and said it was seasoning. That's what that was. That was nothing spicy about that. It was
Put a drizzle of ketchup.
a ketchup. and
Oh
said,
my
"That's
god,
spicy."
y'all are too fucking much. I
Ugh,
can't.
it was spicy. It was so spicy. Ugh, it was so ridiculous. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway,
So yeah, and plus this is the first non-twisted vote of the jury. So I'm just like,
yay.
fuck. But so the vote comes down. It's 5-3 to 1-1 for some reason.
1-1.
Because chaos.
It was
And
so
within all of the plans that had been made, somehow Kane
we
goes.
decided to go with.
Literally.
Somehow Kane goes home.
Look here. Okay. Look here.
Hold on, I'm changing it back. There you
Also,
go.
fun fact, friends, do not look at the Survivor 44 Wikipedia, as it seemingly has spoilers for next episode.
Okay,
Like
well,
full voting spoilers? I don't know. This is your public service announcement to not do
Once
that.
you know who goes out next week. Well,
yeah. Okay. Well, Wikipedia, stop doing that because we really don't want to know that. But anyway, let's be honest. Let's be real with this. Kane has been the most irrelevant person in this entire cast since the merge. Like, who is Kane? What is a Kane? Why is Kane even there? Like,
What is a Kane?
what is a Kane? It's been so ultimately boring and irrelevant. Like, he was just taking up space. And everybody's like, oh, well, he's a big guy who does nothing. If it wasn't for Brandon, he wouldn't even got to the final four of that last immunity challenge when they were there. And then he dropped first. Like, bruh, he was not doing
literally.
anything. He is not doing anything in this tribe. He's not done anything on this show to make me remember him. Like, he could have been gone pre-merge and I would have been fine. Like, he's so irrelevant. He's just there. So I'm like, whatever. Kane leaving did nothing. It didn't shake the table.
It didn't.
Did nothing. It was just like, okay, finally, about time he can go. But like, Danny is sitting right there.
Literally.
Danny is sitting right there. Like,
can we make it clear that men are stupid? Because you clocked, huh? You clocked.
Remember?
First of all, Danny not listening to Franny when she really good plan. Why are they not looking at the Tika 3? I don't care if they haven't done much. I don't care. They're still in the middle.
Robyn, you wonder why? Robyn, you wonder why? Can I tell you why? Because I mentioned it before you got here. Because why would Danny listen to a stupid little woman plan? That little woman plan, how dare she come up with a good plan?
Literally, I think it's a good plan.
It's a great plan. But she's a woman.
And don't forget Jam Jam shutting down Carolyn. Hello?
Because Carolyn is a woman and she's kooky and crazy and wacky. Who listens to Carolyn?
She wouldn't know strategy. She wouldn't know what to do.
She wouldn't know what to do. Franny doesn't know what to do because their stupid little women plans are never going to be good because these men know better. But then these men need to realize you got 3 of y'all and it's 6 of them.
Literally.
We
love to see. We love to see it.
I was going to say 5 straight men have been either voted or gone out of the game.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So if we want to still think about this, they start really thinking and like, yo, Franny, we don't need these men because you just beat Brandon. Lauren, you just beat Danny. Franny, you just beat Danny. We don't need these men in this tribe if we don't want to. Talk to me crazy, Danny. You can go. Talk to me crazy, Jam Jam. You can go. Not that I want Jam Jam to go. I like Jam Jam. But if he keeps talking to Carolyn crazy, he can go.
Carson, I don't think, has spoken negatively to a woman. So that's good.
No, and he's my winner pick. But you know what?
Bare
If it's gonna
minimum.
be a woman. He can go.
Not the bare minimum.
Wow.
Right.
He
Bare
has
minimum.
been sick the last few episodes, so I
Right.
think that's been his
Poor
main
baby.
priority.
He's truly just like, let me get through another tribal. Okay, thanks.
Right. Which has been really helpful to his game, I must say.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, he's not a threat. He's throwing up and
He's sick.
sick in the
Of
corner.
course.
Honest to God, the gastrointestinal issues could have been, or like, is like honestly the best thing that could have happened to his game.
Mhm.
Because I honestly think he's just gonna skate through a little bit more.
I think he would do really good in these challenges if he wasn't sick.
Well,
Yeah.
he memorized the goddamn tree puzzle. Of course, he's gonna do good in these challenges.
But it is what it is. Yeah, it's just these men are just they're not listening to the women's actually really good plans, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and it benefits them. It's not like they're saying something to them that just benefits themselves. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
I can't get over silly little women plans.
I mean, that's what they've been doing. Still a little
I mean, you're
women
not wrong at all, but I just love that phrasing.
silly little women plans. You
Silly
know.
little women plans.
Danny
Yeah.
gonna stop ignoring everybody when they win some immunity or some shit. He did that to Lauren. He did that to Franny.
I
And
mean,
Janet.
well, we saw when he starts stumping off like a salty little baby when he loses.
I want him to lose an immunity challenge to Carolyn. I
do
think he would
too.
just come by.
If he would lose
No,
his
no.
mind.
I want him to lose an immunity to Jamie.
I mean, he wouldn't lose it to Jamie. Carolyn would make him lose his mind because he'd be like, "Oh, well, Jamie's still kind of strong." No, he would lose his mind.
He
lost to
he-
Carolyn. He'd be like,
he
"Oh,
would just walk up to Jeff and be like, yeah, I self-evict. I'm
right."
gone.
He go
Goodbye.
walk into the ocean and just swim away.
I'm by me.
I don't care. This man.
Wow.
Well,
Julie.
Well,
Julie,
next
Julie.
week
look,
we
Kane
find
is
out if
gone.
he swims into the ocean.
Because Carolyn want him gone, and I'm here for it. I'm like, y'all don't start listening to Carolyn, getting rid of
Right.
Danny. He just
The
made
way
that
she was
deal.
like, I want Danny. I'm like, period, mother. You better
Good.
let them know.
As you should.
As you should.
Well, this season's shaping up to be. It's still good.
I will say it wasn't a bad episode. I just hate the boot.
Mm.
Pretty
I
much.
know.
Like an irrelevant boot. Like
Yeah.
so
I mean,
irrelevant.
he wasn't giving anything anyway, so
Nothing.
maybe it's like bye. But like, I would have loved to see something spicy. But maybe next
Bye,
week. Who knows?
bye,
Who
Felicia.
knows?
I'm Felicia.
I'm Felicia.
I'm Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
When she wins, and I'm saying this right now here, soon to be on
No,
the internet.
Carolyn's kind of my winner pick right now.
No, dead ass though. No,
Yes.
on the internet, I am saying right now, if Carolyn wins, I'm going to go through and make a compilation of every time we said Carolyn would win throughout all of our episodes.
Her.
I will do it.
Just let me insert another one. Carolyn will win.
Carolyn winner. Winner era.
Carolyn will win this game, so help me fucking
Okay,
God.
but I do actually want to touch on that before we wrap up, because honestly, who else has a winner's edit at this point? Jam, maybe.
Yeah, I feel
Carson,
I feel like it's
Carson, possibly.
Honestly, you know, because I watch a lot of different podcasts as well,
yeah.
you know, but they were saying like they have the 3 biggest storylines of the season.
Exactly.
So they could potentially be the top 3.
I would not be surprised if Tika is the top 3. And
So I'm like, they haven't really been giving people that much screen time. Like we barely see Lauren still.
the only other person I can really see besides those two, Franny, yeah. Franny, just because she had the massive storyline of Matt going into merge and then losing him immediately and proving how strong of a player she is.
I think I could make a justification. This is going to come out of left field, so just let me explain. I think I could find a justification for Heidi. Because we did get episode 1 or episode 2 or whenever, we see Heidi make fire. And though Soka
Right.
didn't have a very visible pre-merge because they won all the time, the moments that we did see were kind of Heidi connecting with people. She didn't get a whole lot of confessionals, but like she made fire. It was spoken on very early on that she is underestimated in pretty much every aspect of her life. And so I'm thinking that maybe that coupled with, she got the advantage, the stupid advantage, that was not her fault. It was the advantage's fault. Coupled with now that she has an idol, she has one of two idols, both real, left in the game, because we also forgot to mention Kane walked out with Jamie's fake idol.
Yes.
Right.
So Jamie's fake idol is gone.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
And thank God Jamie didn't have to play that and be embarrassed.
No, I didn't want her to have egg on her face by playing it and going out. I'm glad it's gone, to be honest.
I'm glad all the fake idols gone, honestly. It's like,
I'm glad they didn't add anything back in. But there's
the
always
only two real idols now are Carolyn and Heidi.
Yep.
I think if certain things happen, I think there is a universe where we get almost like a Romeo level like slayage at the very end from Heidi, and maybe that turns into a winner edit. I don't know. She's the only other person
you
that
said
I really
a Romeo slayage?
Remember when Romeo won the final immunity challenge?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like Romeo was like doing something good.
Oh,
no, he won the final immunity. That's all he did. But what I'm saying is like a last minute, more like Hail Mary is what I should have said. But Romeo was the only one to come to mind. No, but like a last minute Hail Mary, maybe she wins like the final immunity. She puts the two big threats into fire, takes whoever the GOAT is at that time, which is probably Jamie. And then I think there could be a universe for Heidi. And I wouldn't be mad at seeing that because I actually really like Heidi as a person that we've seen on the show, as well as Heidi as a game player. She's very underrated. No one's looking at Heidi. Nobody's worried about Heidi.
I mean, they kind of voted for her this week.
She got votes, but it was on a split.
Yeah.
With the target being Danny. So I don't really think... No one's actively targeting Heidi, and it's final 8. And I think every single other person has been talked about as a potential like real target at some point in the game, other than her at this point. And I think that's incredibly impressive. I don't know. I could just be feeding into it and she could go home next week. Who knows? But like, I think she's really the only other person that I could justify having any sort of like shot based on the edit we have currently.
Yeah, I just need her to cut Danny and like, just separate herself,
separate herself from him.
From him, just for like gameplay reasons, kind of like why Jesse had to do it last season. I hope she has that kind of moment and realize like, hey, if I'm, next to Danny or whatever, I could potentially lose, or we could potentially be seen as a pair that we did everything together or whatever. That's the only thing. But I could see it for Heidi.
Yeah, I would love that.
I love seeing her get that idol this week. I was like, oh my God, Queen.
I was like, oh my God,
Heidi. As long as it wasn't Danny. And she didn't tell him.
And she didn't tell him.
That's like, I was like, please, Heidi, don't tell that man. Please.
I don't understand why people feel the need to tell everybody everything. I'm not telling nobody nothing.
Carolyn has kept hers.
Zip. Nobody not. Like, I don't. First of all, I probably would never find an idol because that causes me to go look for something, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But if I did happen to stumble on an idol, I don't care how close our alliance is. This idol is my idol. I have to figure out the best way to play it for me. Even if it's playing it for somebody else, it has to benefit me in the long run. So I'm not going to tell you so you can decide.
Looks at Danny. You hear that, baby. Danny? You listening to Lana?
Please listen.
Play for
listening to this season that was filmed almost a year ago.
Right. I mean, your idol needs to benefit. If you go play it for somebody else, make sure it benefits you. That ain't benefiting you. Franny Stan is not benefiting Danny at all.
Right. Rob did a deep dive into that, and the only person who's played an idol on someone and ended up winning the game was Jeremy from whatever season he was on.
Was it
Natalie Anderson?
Blood. No, it
No, he
wasn't
played
blood
it on
versus
Steven
water.
Fishback. He played on Steven Fishback, whatever.
Natalie
season that
played
was.
an idol on Jacqueline on San Juan del Sur.
Did
That's
she?
like her iconic moment from San Juan del Sur. Jacqueline, did you vote for who
Not
I?
Rob being wrong. Well,
Yeah, Jacqueline, did you
maybe
vote
they'll
who I
come
told
in.
you to?
See, I don't know
I'm
these
playing
people.
this for
So I
Jack.
never
That's
watched.
trust. Natalie Anderson is my queen. Like, and that is like her
Sort of
game
my
defining moment from San Juan del Sur that got her the win. So they're wrong. Anyway,
No, I played an idol on someone that saved them. Did I save her?
yes.
Okay. It wasn't like a misplayed idol or anything.
No, she got, I think, the majority of the votes. And then Baylor was voted out with 2 votes, I think.
Not knowing who these people are.
Well, anyway, so that's that. We know
Yep.
the thing. So y'all know what to do. Hit the links, like, share, subscribe, follow, share, because sharing is caring for sure. Follow us on Twitter at @thecup_reality so you can find out when all of these videos will be dropping. And if you just like following cool people, follow us. We're kind of cool. We do some stuff. We say some things on Twitter every now and again. And of course, get your merch.
I do.
Yeah, we say some things. Robyn
Get the
says
merch
a
at
lot
the
of
link
things.
below.
Check the merch
I
link.
know I be getting dragged, honey, but I love the mute function.
Me too.
I say my piece and I mute and I don't have to ever go back.
Love that. But the merch link is below, lanagcreations.etsy.com. Get all your cup merch and other things on that site. And yeah, we'll be back next week to talk about more Survivor 44, episode 10 per.
We're down to what? 4 or 5 more episodes?
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire. We are now down into the single digits, so that's nice. So we'll be back next week, and we appreciate having everybody on this panel because you all are amazing.
Oh.
And cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Not prepared for that.
I mean, I don't know how you're not prepared. We do it every week. Bye.
Bye.
I had a
Bye.
That's why.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.